r/AskReddit, what's a piece of advice you've received that initially seemed strange but turned out to be remarkably insightful? Grandparents can have some crazy wisdom. When the subject of teen promiscuity came up, she was like, half the marriages when I grew up were paint the shotgun white weddings. Yeah, it might be stupid, but it's not new. Run your own race, Bluey. Yeah, I know, total dad answer. I work with students, and so many are comparing themselves to others and listening to misleading advice. I frequently need to remind them they are the only one on their path. The only person it's ever productive to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. I've been really loving that Peloton commercial about how not everyone is there to go hard or go home, run your own race, etc. If someone is trying to intimidate you, stare at them confidently and say nothing. They will back off. I thought it was the dumbest thing I ever heard. Ended up trying it on the bully at work and she freaked out and avoided me for the next few years we worked together. I use it all the time on people now, LMAO. I do this, people don't know what to do with no reaction/silence. Add in heavy eye contact and people nope out quick. I've got to. It's possible to do your best and still fail. Kinda depressing one, but it helps not to focus on negative things. Life is unfair and sometimes you just can't succeed. None of us is as dumb as all of us. This is my favorite. You can describe any community using this phrase: your company, your favorite show's fandom, even your country. Herd mentality is a bitch. Use cold water, not hot, when you clean cum of something. A homeless man told me that when I was like 15 yo. I am still thankful for that info. I'm trying to think of a circumstance in which that might come up in a conversation, but I just can't figure out how. Dump her back. My grandfather. His response when I told him my girlfriend broke up with me for another guy. I thought WTF. A few months later she tried to reconcile. I dumped her back. This is not mine but something I read somewhere. But essentially a girl was practicing archery and kept messing up and the instructor told her, "You're failing because you're too focused on the target and not your own actions." She proceeded to say that it was the best life advice she had ever gotten. The best advice has the least amount of words. Instructions unclear, took a dump on her back. You can rename files on Windows by pressing F2. Fucking thank you. Smiley face. You can side scroll by holding shift when scrolling. Win+L locks the computer. Had a boss who constantly hit Ctrl+Alt+Del but use the mouse to click lock. SMH my head. My ex-wife once told me, buy perfume from a company that makes perfume. Meaning, clothing companies, actors, etc. might have a perfume brand, but buy perfume from a company for whom that is their primary focus. This advice generalizes nicely to nearly all purchases. Meanwhile, Yamaha. We as humans tend to pick up the habits of the people we hang out with, so surround yourself with people whose habits you actually want to emulate. If it was easy, everyone would do it. My father, the retired engine machinist. There's a whole comment string replying to your comment, and all of them are missing the fact that it wasn't actually about archery. If you have to eat a shit sandwich, do it as fast as possible. Why? Oh LMAO, I missed the word shit. Best hiring advice I ever got: I can teach anyone a skill. I can't teach them an attitude. It actually doesn't matter that much what a candidate knows or is familiar with, if they're willing and able to learn and can get along. If they can't get along, then it doesn't matter what they know or can do. I work in IT. I find self-taught staffers tend to be better employees than ones with computer science degrees. If you respect yourself, others will follow. The chef I worked for let a teen-yo homeless me stay in a room above his garage through the winter. The rental agreement was just mow the lawn once a week and don't be an asshole. I love that till this day. There's no reason to be an asshole in nearly any situation, so don't be one. While mowing the lawn as a winter activity. Are you from the South or the future? You need to get out of your own way. We are so often our own barrier to what we want. Any advice on doing this? I'm so in my own way. Archery is really difficult because it requires a lot of precise muscle control. You can't be perfect all the time. You can't satisfy everyone all the time. You are supposed to make mistakes. An expert has made more mistakes than a beginner has tried. When I was working as a cashier at a grocery store back in high school, an elderly man I was serving leaned in and whispered to me, "Never take sleeping pills and laxatives at the same time. Trust me on this." I don't know why he told me this, but I have lived by that advice ever since. There is no one-size-fits-all solution for bullies. Meaning just because something worked against one bully doesn't mean it will work against another. Most people will advise you to either ignore the bully or face the bully and then tell you how they or someone they know solved their bully problem. Carefully think before applying their solution because it may not lead to the same outcome. Yeah, I stood up for myself against bullies at work and got fired. Family will always be the first to fuck you over. Dad, 1982. He was right. Don't do business deal with family. Or land deals, or anything that involves money or potential jail time. They think there is an automatic forgiveness switch built into the family genetic code. To be honest, I think everyone gets told at least once in their life to just be yourself. And almost every teenager will do anything to fit in, which usually results in doing the exact opposite. It's only later in life when most people realize that being yourself will indeed make you the happiest. This is one of those pieces of advice that is useless to hear because unless you've already learned a lesson in a meaningful way by yourself, it sounds incredibly trite. When I had my learner's permit to drive, my dad always said drive like you and everyone else has a baby in the car. It was weird to me at the time because I was 15 but made me a pretty cautious driver because who would want to be responsible for a motor vehicle accident that harms a baby? But the words hit home now because I have a toddler and a baby now. A lot of people don't understand how much work it takes to live a respectable life and to be of no burden to anyone. A random Redditor regarding people who are constantly expecting handouts or hand-holding through every crisis they put themselves into, believing that we are simply privileged to have what we have, ignoring the hard work we put into having anything at all. It stuck with me for a long time due to its accuracy. Some people need to be excluded from social plans even if it makes you feel like a bad person. For context, a person in our friend group always killed the vibe and had tantrums, and finally my friend gave me this advice. She said I was so lovey and caring and inclusive, but that advice. No response is the response. Learn to listen. This means that as a young guy I should listen more than speak and only speak when I know it will contribute something and never overshare. A version of this I heard was while you're talking, you'll only hear things you already know. It's your own faults that will annoy you most in others. Damn it. Comparison is the thief of joy, and likewise, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Stop looking to others to set the rules for your own life and for what happy or successful means, and don't obsess or focus too much on small details when it's the bigger picture that you frame to make a life and what makes work, work. If you like where you are, don't complain about how you got there. I'm gonna call bullshit, personally at least. 13 years of alcoholism, illness, divorce, poverty. I'm somewhat stable and enjoy my current job. But fuck the past years that got me here. Every time I try to go where I really want to be is already where I am. 'Cause I'm already there. No one is normal. Normal is a setting on a washing machine. This is really good and useful advice. And GT, no one is normal. Correct, but this also means everyone is normal, because it's normal not to be. But still actually, no. Everyone isn't normal, a lot of people are abnormal, and if the last few years are an indication, just as many are straight up fucking crazy, not hyperbole. Bit of a paradox really. My mom and some senior relatives told me that your co-workers are not your friends when I first started working. I got along for all my old co-workers very well and hang out. This advice was strange to me in the beginning, but now I totally understand why they said that. For a brief time in my life, I was lucky enough to work in an 8-person department where I was close personal friends with 4 of the other co-workers. The other 3 people were alright, too. That was a chill job. Embrace failure. Failure is often viewed negatively, but it is a crucial part of learning and growth. Instead of fearing failure, see it as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and thrive. That's how I get hugs from my mom. If you always do what you have always done, you will always get what you have always got. Progress, not perfection. Helped a lot to hear it when I did. Please allow yourself to be helped first and stop beating yourself down. When you move, the first thing you set up is your bedroom. When everything is chaos and you're exhausted from moving boxes all day, you have a place to crash that is ready for you. First is rugs, because otherwise it's a lot more work to put rugs down. Everyone is either going through a storm, coming out of the storm, or preparing to enter a storm. That is the cycle of life until you die. 15-year-old me, damn Nana, that is such a negative point of view. 30s me, holy shit, Nana was right. Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again, Reddit glitch out.